Hello, hello. Good evening. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera. Okay, yeah, fixed. Can you guys hear me? Uh, let's audio check so that I just don't continue to speak without anybody hearing me. So, okay, yeah, audio is good. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Nigeria. Where do I start? This thing is not just today. This has been going on. I think it became national issue since 2009. I believe maybe 2008, 2009. Then President Obama was the president, and Jonathan Goodluck was Nigerian president. As at the time, everybody is shouting. Even our president had so many series of tweets saying that the buck stops with the president. So now he is saying that he's depressed. He needs to come out of that depression and act like a leader. Even if you're depressed as a leader, you fought so hard saying Emilokan. When is Iwalokan, then you should prepare for anything that could come up. What I don't understand with African leaders entirely is that all they care about is just the power. It's not a kid's play, like it's not a child's play to even rule and be able to manage your home, manage a town, manage a state, not to talk of manage the entire country where there is culture clash, tribal clash. Like there is so many things that separate us. I see a lot of people saying that, oh, there is what do all these Western world always talk about? You know, the problem here is that I don't even know how to say it without really offending anyone. That's why I don't do a lot of politics. I know so much about politics, but it's really scary. And I always say it. I will never find myself in politics. Like I will never ever put my hand in it, no matter how much I know. It's a very dirty game. It's something that, even if you're hurting, you really want to get to the nitty-gritty of it. You are really interested in helping people. But when it comes to politics, it's like when you're talking about vampires and you are bitten by a vampire, you turn. That is what politics is. No matter how much you said you are close to God. Look at Benue State governor, the one they elected thinking that, oh, this man is a priest. It's going to be for us. This is the same person that was asked from above to not televise the mass burial that is going on in that state. That is why it's been kept under wrap for so long until Reverend Dachomo. You might know this man, you might not know him, is the one that will wear suits with that reverend collar, shouting, calling upon the US Congress, calling upon Donald Trump, calling on the Western world, the UN, calling on all these corrupt organizations to come and help. Because see, Yoruba adage says that ebi ń pa ẹ́, ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ dẹ̀rẹ̀ kò dáná, ìgbà wo lò ní jóúnjẹ ọ̀tẹ̀? That's the way I see it. This man might have the knowledge that this Western world people cannot do much for Nigeria, but he just thought about it like when the friend are not doing anything. The proverb I mentioned to you is that you are hungry and your friend refused to cook, but your enemy cook and give it to you. Like, when would you not eat from your enemy's pot if that is the case? So this man has been the one shouting about whatever it is that is going on. Thank God the man did not stop. even though they try to call him a liar, they try to shut him up, they use so many propaganda to kind of keep it quiet, hush hush. The part I don't understand as well with this leader is that they will always want to tell you that, oh, you don't have to talk about bad things that goes on in Nigeria. Every country have their bad whatever. But when people are being attacked in a church, in a place of worship, Nigeria is a secular country, fine. But the problem is that one religion believes that they can trump whatever is going on with other. We've seen it so many other places. Go to Jordan. This similar thing happened, eradication of Christians. Go to Nigeria, it's been on alert since maybe the 60s or even before 60s. Before independence, this thing has been going on. But what happened is that is majorly in the north. I think what it is that with the north, a lot of people will say, oh, there is mixture of Christian and Muslim. Yes, it is true. But what it is that who is doing the attack? Is it Christian attacking the Muslim or the Muslim attacking their own people? And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you need to look into history and look into how these people came to be in the north to start with. Look into Gobert Muslim. I don't know how to call it. Gobi how. Look into that history and look into the history of Uthman Fodio, who became the first caliphate in the Sokoto. Look into how everything comes to be. Is a lot of people accepting them. I mean the jihadists. They are called Islamic jihadists. Is the Fulani mixed with them. Their history goes all the way back to Muhammad, to Mecca, Medina, moving to Yemen, moving to the Niger, now moving into Zamfara, Katsina, Nasarawa, and all of that place is more or less like capturing, conquering. You know the way he is in those days. You get into some villages, you find everyone there, then you overtake. You know the way slavery was in those places. So they more or less capture everyone in that village. And that is what is going on in this modern day. These people are stationed themselves in all the villages. They're not starting from the urban area. They started from the rural area where your food is coming from. So they started there. I'm going to show you few videos and you can tell me if that is not evil. When these Fulani animals uprooting people's farm produce, a cassava that was planted by a farmer, waiting for them to harvest, and you are uprooting it, chopping it up for your cow to eat. What you're saying is that the cow is better than a human being. And this thing has been going on for so long. I remember during Buhari time, I made a video. I was literally so angry. That's why I said, I don't really like to talk so much about Nigeria, what is going on in there, the politics of things, why the leaders are not doing anything. And you know, a lot happened when they were talking about Muslim tickets. I think the leaders talking about it, they know what could come from it. And this is it. Even the person that Tinubu choose as the vice president, his hands are not clean. This is someone that has openly, one way or the other, not condemning the herdsmen, the killing. It doesn't condemn them openly. So then you started giving those, sorry, I digress. You started taking out their crops and giving to your cows. And you guys, see, these people know what they are doing. They are doing all this thing intentionally. They are triggering the farmers. They want the farmers to do something so that they can justify them coming in the middle of the night like the thief they are. These people are thieves. They will come in the middle of the night when people are vulnerable, sleeping. From their dream, they started hearing gunshots, loud bang, bang, bang. And the next thing is they started burning their houses and all that. And they displaced people. And when they displaced them, just like David Undeyin has said, they will, another set of them or the same set of people will come, maybe a week interval, and they will rename that place. And if you go and look at the history I'm talking about the Gobea and all these things that happened, you will see that a lot of places have been changed names, like names are changed, things are done. They will come like a thief. You take them in, they act like they are good people. But the problem is that these people know what they are doing. This is not the first time this is happening. If you listen to them, if you listen to the vial that come out of this mouth, of their mouth, sometimes when I see some Muslim, trying to support them, then I look at them. Then you don't know, because they hate you. They are going to find you as well. Because to them, as a Muslim, you have to follow their doctrine. If you don't follow their doctrine, then you are not part of them. Excuse me. Yeah. I just need a minute. They believe that the Muslims that are not in support of whatever it is they're doing. So, because a lot of people are saying that, oh, he's both Muslim and Christian. I've heard few talking heads say that. But the problem is that, yes, it is true. But Christians are being killed disproportionately. The problem is that these Muslims being paying is simply because they are not in support of their extremism. And if they are not in support, they will get them out of the way. Because if you look at what happened with this tribe, I don't know if to call them tribe, but it's like Gobert or whatever. I was reading their history yesterday, and I'm like, wow, like it's just I've done this history before. And another thing I really want to ask a lot of people is this: do you still do history in public school in Nigeria? Do they still have history? Because I remember before I left secondary school, maybe in my SS, maybe we were the last set that was taught history. I know there was no more history, and if there is history, it's been overly diluted. There is a lot of lies that has been purported in those history. Is not the real history, because I remember in secondary school is when I learned about Uthman Dan Fodio. But when I ask someone in public school, I think around 98, maybe 98, 97, this person doesn't even know that history. So, and what do they say when you don't know about your history? It is bound to repeat itself, because we learn from history. And if you don't learn from history, then this thing is going to repeat itself. All those history we were told then actually opened my eyes to really understand that Fulani or Islamic jihadists, as the history called them, you can go on Wikipedia, is right written there. It's called Islamic jihadists, and that's why I said I read back all the way from Muhammad time, what happened, how the two tribes, the Gobert and the Jihadis, came to be, how they now decided to come together. They call them Sunni or something, like, I think it's Sunni Muslim or whatever. These people believe that they are superior to everyone when it comes to religion hierarchy. They don't see themselves as all these Southwest Muslim. These Southwest Muslim, some of them are like extreme like that. If you want to look at the Muslim in Ilorin, some of these are fast. They have committed so many atrocities with their mouth, things they say that are vile, and you'll be like, are you even human? So you will see a lot of them like that. And another trait I see is that most of these people are illiterate. They are not educated. And I think the leaders or whoever is controlling them, they want them like that. They want them to stay uneducated so that they don't find out things themselves. They want to be feeding them what to think, how to think. It's just like when the NSAS thing was going on, and Jaruma said, there's this lady called Jaruma, she's Hausa, and she literally said that a lot of people, like there's many Almajiris in the north compared to the southeast, southwest, middle belt put together. And these people, there is like less educated people. Like most of them are not well educated. Even if you see some youth copper that they've posted there, they will tell you their standard of education is really, really poor. And the problem there is that I believe their leaders want them like that. Things are being operated in that manner to keep them in that abject poverty so that they stay in that mentality, so that whenever they need them to commit this stupid atrocity, is always go. And Jaruma talk about few things they always tell these people. They always tell them that, oh, you people, you need to take arms because the Yorubas, the Igbos, or this tribe, they are trying to minimize your quota in Nigeria, and you know you are here to rule, whereby they rule nothing. They are just the peasants, that the educated ones, the ones that are that have mastered all these things, they were just the peasant that they used to go and fight the war for them. And in all of this, I'm just saying that the problem of Nigeria, it goes deeper than what Trump can solve. It goes deeper because a lot of these leaders, I don't know, the fight for we need to stay together, we need to stay together, together we are stronger. No, together we are. Nigeria was never Nigeria. Before 1914, Nigeria was never Nigeria. It was an eastern region, western region, northern region. Why can't they let it remain like that? Because of their vested interest. And who will not let that happen? The people they are calling upon to come and help them, the Western world. Because without Africa, without most of these African countries, the Western world will cease to exist. The resources, we need to be kept divided. And the only way to be at each other's throat is when you put fire and water together. The fire will be struggling to blow. The water will be struggling to tame the fire down. If you get what I'm saying, it's a clash of the titan. Our culture, our behavior, our religion, the tribe, everything is very, very different. And they will keep saying there is power in diverse, whatever. This diversity has never worked in Nigeria. Never. I've been praying for Nigeria ever since maybe I was like, I can speak. Ever since I could speak. I always tell most of my friends, like, please forget it. Nigeria can never be better. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or anything like that. But I never knew it's going to get to this extent that we will be bleeding. Like, in those days that my mom used to take us to ill, praying ill, to pray for Nigeria, to do this. Maybe I was like 5, 6 years old. I still remember. And I remember when I was like 20 and I was really frustrated with what is going on in the country. I told my mom, and my mom will always say, Asha magbadura na ni, adura na. And I said, see, I'm not gonna say I won't pray. I'll pray for myself. I'll pray for my family. I'm not going to pray for any Nigeria, because every leaders that get there, it's more or less like they became the head of the snake themselves, and they turn. Look at Tinubu. Tinubu used to be an activist. He's an activist, for God's sake, an activist. He was on exile simply because of the things he is saying against the Babangida and Abacha regime. He grew up to become worse than them. Can you imagine that? That is why sometimes when I look at activists, I'll just be like, I hope this is not another Tinubu on our hand. Because this same set of people that complains about the sufferness, about how government has put them through hell, they will get to that stage and they will behave exactly the same. In fact, worse than that. On the one they were clamoring, shouting, US Congress, they were sitting now, sitting, hearing. In fact, I was still listening to one of the Chibok girls. This lady escaped because I listened to her story. She said she jumped from the lorry because they came with truck, and those truck that we have sack that covers it. This girl said they came with those trucks and they loaded them up in the truck. So on their way going, this girl just thought to herself, I don't know where they are taking us. I would rather just jump and die here than to go with them. Jumped. And her friend, her best friend that was looking at her, she was telling the best friend, this thing, I'm only hearing this story through a lady that was invited by the Congress, because after all this ordeal, one of the congresswomen in maybe Virginia was able to secure a scholarship for some of the girls that escaped the kidnapping in 2014. So this girl was invited because she has studied to become a doctor. She was invited to the Congress to come and speak in US Congress. And she explained her ordeal, and I'm like, wow. And she explained how they invaded their boarding house, how they came in, how one of them deceived them to form a circle so that he would be able to see all of them so that they won't be able to run. But they thought it was military trying to help them, until the rest of them came and just captured them in their dormitory. And on their way going, this girl jumped from the truck and another friend jumped. And some of them that has jumped the fence from the school, they all met in the bush. Eventually, they were able to escape. And you know the rest of the history. The remaining girls, Shaibu, they became wives to all these animals. They impregnated them, they turned them to whatever they want to. See, some of these girls are Muslim, they are Hausas, some of them are Christian. But the problem is that all this forceful religion. But the thing is this, a lot of people were not saying it. That's what Quran told these people. I don't know if that is how it's written. Maybe one way or their leaders have changed it. Maybe the person writing for Muhammad has changed whatever he told him. I don't know. But in Quran, it is written there that they need to take over, they need to overtake, and they have to do it by force. The kingdom of God suffered violence, and violence taken by force. These people had to convert by fire, by storm. So most of them that are normal Muslim, they're looking at it like, why do I have to be this extreme? But the thing is, these girls disappeared just like that. We hear the story, how US was supposed to help, the demand they put on Jonathan Goodluck for them to help. I'm talking about then the Secretary of State was Hillary Clinton. We heard the demand that was made, and Jonathan Goodluck couldn't do that because of the culture, because of religion, because we have different ethnic groups in Nigeria. He couldn't do it, and what did they do? They forced him out. Buhari came in power, and these people actually came out openly. That is when they started rehabilitating terrorists. I posted something on my shorts the day they convicted Nnamdi Kanu. Jesu Bawa. Yeah, my sis, Olarotimi. Thanks for joining. I posted something on my short the other day when they convicted Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know what day it was. And a lot of this, you can see a lot of their handwriting with their names and all that. And the thing is that all these, the Muslim and some Igbos that are APC, we have been so divided to the extent that we could barely see the truth, even if it slapped us in the face. Oh, you said Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, but yet he didn't carry a gun to shoot anyone. You said he incited violence, yet the people that are maiming, buying people in church, in mosque, in schools, they are being forgiven. Yes, only in Nigeria I see terrorists being reintegrated into society. So what are you trying to tell them? That it's okay, continue to do it. The day they want money, or maybe the overlords giving them those AK-47s, the one that are supplying them, they are real main suppliers. Who is supplying them the ammunitions? The day they are not bringing in money and their salary are not being paid to be maiming and buying their own people, they will now say, oh, hands down, we want rehabilitation, we want to reintegrate. And most of these people, they will now wear Ashwebi for them. But Nnamdi Kanu deserves to die in prison. And a lot of these people are coming out saying trash. Like, does it even make any sense? In what society does it make any sense? You're saying he incited violence. No. What he is that bothers those Buhari government then when they arrest, because it's not Tinubu that arrested Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of people are getting it wrong. But Tinubu have hands in it. If not, the moment Tinubu comes in, what is stopping him to do presidential pardon? But no, he won't do it, because all they care about is to keep Nigeria to remain Nigeria. Sunday Igboho came out, tried to get rid of these Fulani herdsmen from the bush. If you don't know, Sunday Igboho is a Yoruba man that fought Modakeke War in Ile-Ife and won. And since then, they respected this guy. He was a very young guy then. Then when they started buying people in Oyo State, in the Ibarapa Mejeje area, Igboho, Shaki, Betty, and all of that, in the forest, where the farmers plant cassavas, all our food produce in the southwest, where it comes from those Ibarapa Mejeje area. They started buying the villagers. The cows are eating their food crops and everything. What did they do? Sunday Igboho went there, destroyed their den, destroyed everything. That even their king, they have a king in that village that is a Fulani. The palace, everything was destroyed. They were so scared. And that's the only person they are scared of, because everything they tried on this man didn't work. What then happened? Buhari sent DSS to decimate his house in Ibadan, in Oyo State. And that governor of Oyo State was there. They came into your state. You are claiming you don't know. Nothing can happen in a state by federal government, and the state will not know about it. There would have been something that would comes out that, oh, DSS is coming for operation in your state. So the governor would have signed off on it. So what does that tell you? Because Sunday Igboho, eventually some people clamoring for Yoruba nation, they started reaching out to him that we don't think we can exist with these people. These people they are so hateful. They are full of hatred. They believe Nigeria belongs to them. And Sunday Igboho started speaking about Yoruba nation now. Then Nnamdi Kanu is talking about Biafra. They know that it is very serious. Before you know it, we don't know who they bribed in Sunday Igboho's camp, because obviously someone was bribed. They know the time is going to be home, and they come in the middle of the night like a thief, the DSS. They killed people, men, people, do all sorts of things, but unfortunately for them, they don't know how Sunday Igboho disappeared from that scene. And then they started hunting him down. They declared him wanted. For what? He's inciting violence. While the main culprit, not inciting violence, the one carrying out the violence on the people of Nigeria, they were living, enjoying. They displaced people, but yet Buhari government was building houses for them. They were building a rehabilitation center for them. They were doing a shwebi for them. They were reintegrating them into society by making them join the military. How many of them are in the military or the military parastatals, whatever? How many of them are there now? Why you think the Sunday Igboho is a problem? The Nnamdi Kanu is a problem. Yeah, they see them as problems simply because they are leaders in their own right, and they are clamoring for division. And the division is not that this is not what is going on before. Before, Nigeria was not Nigeria, like I told you. It was the Eastern region, Western region, Northern region. They live together in harmony, in peace, while everyone controls their region. But because the Western one don't want to be doing business separately with them, Laura Lugard has to come up with a plan to put them together. And since then, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the kingsmen, all the kingswomen could not put Humpty Dumpty together again. So then, Humpty Dumpty cannot be put together. It can be put together. Because the problem is that when they put Nigeria together, they did not say, okay, oh, Eastern region, Western region, Northern region, we want to put you, like you need to come up with a plan whereby 3 of you will choose a leader. The East was excluded from leading simply because of Ojukwu War, because Nigeria became independent in 1960. They were put together in 1940. So that's why I said this thing has been going on for ages. The Eastern region already believe they've been maligned for so long. They believe they've been maligned for so long, and they believe the traitor is the West. That, oh, they were the one that sold them out to the North. They came up, even me, learning the history. If I look at it now, it is true how many Eastern leaders has existed, even though the ones that are in leading role now are very wicked. Look at Akpabio, look at Wike, look at what these people do. Arijendi Modaruni, gbogbo wọn. All of them is anywhere belle face. Belle face front I go, belle face back I go. They are anywhere belle face. So the problem in Nigeria is not today, but the problem now is that it's getting out of hand, because I remember even when I used to pray for Nigeria, during Abacha time, it wasn't as bad as this. And I remember I was still in secondary school then. The day everybody comes together and be like, oh, Abacha is a dictator, they carry coffin, carry everything. I remember I was in maybe SS3 or SS2 that time. And we were beaten out of school because we wouldn't join the protest. Everybody was beaten out of their classes, like, get out there and protest against these tyrants. And it wasn't as bad as this. There's no Fulani headsmen going into churches and buying people. There's no Fulani headsmen attacking primary school children. Let me play one for you. A eyewitness, like relative to eyewitness. Sorry, I didn't even know I've been going on for so long. Let me see if I posted that video. I'm not sure I posted that video, but if I do, let me see if I do. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna show. Just before I came on, I saw Baba Adeboye. No, Oyedepo literally blasting the killing, because you see, a lot of people were saying that, oh, it's not real, it's not true, it's not this, it's not that. It's very, very heartbreaking. And they will call this man reckless. Let me play what he said. Then tell me if he's reckless. Like, we are seeing this thing, and what Tinubu regime want us to do is just put the band-aid on it. Like, there's nothing to see here. No, you can't see anything. There's nothing to see. How does that even make any sense? Because what I see, I always say this thing on my channel. Before you can judge anything, before you can actually tell people to not feel somehow, let it happen to you first. Do you think Tinubu's family, maybe Sheyi Tinubu's children, or Tinubu's grandkids, Tinubu's children, or one of the aides, kids were kidnapped by the Fulani herdsmen? You think they will not get them out within 24 hours? They will, because they know where they are. He's one of these leaders that said that if insurgency lasted for more than 24 hours, the government knows about it. I know it's very possible their hands are tied. Nigerian military might not even have enough ammunition to really fight. But what is happening? What is wrong with getting help? This Tinubu has been cozying up with Macron every time, France every time. The first occupier, Buhari, every time, UK, every time, UK. We don't know whether he's the UK president or Nigerian president. Same thing with Tinubu. He's going to rest. We don't know whether he's a France president by proxy or he's not. Because it's every time, oh, they're having meeting on how to help them with Burkina Faso. Traore is triumphing, while Nigeria is sinking to the bottom of the ocean like a Titanic ship.
Christ in Nigeria
is the most adaptive human being I've ever, for real. We can adapt to any situation. My husband was just telling me maybe a few days ago, talking about one man that lives in ice country. Like, that country is fully ice, like so cold, you can never believe a Nigeria will live in such country. And this man, yeah, Siberia. And this Nigerian man is living there. Tayo Aina went there. How do you live here? It's year-round cold. So you know how rugged Nigerians are. Nigerians will live anywhere. Nigerians are not all these soft Indomie noodles, unlike all these new generational Gen Z with their, and the millennial with their soft parenting. We were made to be like rocks. And it's because of the leaders we have. It's because of the way the country is. There is no job. Nigeria will create job for themselves. There is no this. When there was no job, the moment the opportunity of social media came, every Nigerian became entrepreneur. Everybody started doing business. What do you see? The government started, oh, we have to tax this, we have to tax that. Where is the tax going? There is no explanation to what the tax is doing. Some of these business, they just die with mismanagement. Every businesses that the government oversee, it just banging along the way. No good management. The last time I went to Nigeria, the airport was so beautiful. I was making pictures. I said the next time I come, I hope it's not going to be a den. It's not going to become all this zoological garden that has been abandoned, that has been turned to aere like a horse. Because that is what happened. Mismanagement, greed. We always set in. So when you have citizens that could provide job for themselves, job opportunities, and then insecurity came in, people are not even comfortable, then insecurities came in. And you will see all these Fulani men, they barely dress, they look tattered, they look dirty, and they'll be requesting for 100 million naira, 1 billion. The money they requested for. In fact, I don't think their Lord, Muhammad, even see that kind of money in his life before he died. They will be asking for such money from villagers that their house is not even up to 1 million. You are asking for 100 million, 200 million. Like, where? How? Who is sending these people? Who is providing them this weapon? Who is actually unleashing this problem on Nigeria? Because it has some big people hands in it. It does. And why? Why is it now that they are having hearing that Donald Trump wants to come? Why is it now everything is now on fire? We were still talking about, 25 girls were kidnapped. They were talking about that. Erukwekiti happened. 35 people were kidnapped inside a church. Some were killed. This is not the first time they entered a church in the West. In the Southwest, I mean, because I remember about 2-3 years ago in Owo, they entered and maimed, even young children, over 100 people in that church. What are you trying to do? And you are telling me there is no pain of Christian. You are trying to put the fear of God in them to don't come back to church. That's what they are literally doing. People need to really search history. What happened in Syria? What happened in Iran? What happened in Jordan? These countries, I'm telling you, they used to be like Nigeria with a lot of Christian and a lot of... Now, it's mostly 80% Muslim. I don't even think there's Christian in Jordan. If they are in Iran, they have to go underground. Before, I never knew I thought Iran is a Muslim country. Until I found out that, no, the Christian there were just, they got rid of them. That is what happened. And it's happening in Nigeria right now. And Donald Trump is talking, and the haters of Donald Trump with the TDS, they were complaining. Yes, he might have ulterior motive. But one bed, two stone. That is what the people giving the ammunitions to the heads people. That is what they are doing as well. One bed, two stone. You want to Islamatize the country. We want the land. We don't want peace. Yeah, do it. So it got to a point that most Nigerians are saying that we don't mind Trump to come. We are not even enjoying the resources because everybody keeps saying, go and see what they did to Syria. They decimated this country. They've done this to that country. And they say, yes, we even want you to enslave us. It's better than our leaders. When the citizen of a country is asking for Western leaders to come and enslave them, that is better than their leaders. Don't you see there is a problem? Real problem. And I'm happy that the religion leaders are waking up. They wake up, they will speak. I know this man. I say what you want to say.
It's indestructible.
Even before they vote for Tinubu that time. They voted for Tinubu. This man was against it. I mean, Bishop Oyedepo. He was against it, and a lot of people were calling him reckless. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's a divider. He's coming to Yoruba land. Like, what the hell is coming to your father's land that you are talking about? Is it just to become president or to make good of your promises? I pity a lot of people that time. Some of them are calling people that said, I'm not in support of Tinubu becoming president. Say, and I look at them. Because APC ruled you for 8 years. What is the outcome? They keep telling you, hope, hope, hope. What kind of hope? Jesus, that we have faith and hope in self. We won't be open for this long. APC promised you hope for 8 years. They did what they did. They even messed the entire thing up. Buhari died. Even his family knows what he did. They started begging for forgiveness from the whole of Nigeria. And Tinubu now came in. Everybody believed that. Thank God, a lot of Nollywood actors, actresses that campaigned for them started coming out, because everything they were promised, it was not given to them. One of them that was fighting all the female actresses then, calling them names. She has a business. It's everybody for themselves. She was thinking, oh, Buhari era is going to be different than Tinubu. And I'm like, they are under the same canopy, under same umbrella. Do you think party policies is going to change? What did you even ask Tinubu? What are you going to do different from what Buhari has done? Did they even ask? No, they don't. Now they can't speak up, because I hear now that if you say anything against Tinubu, you will get a knock from DSS in your house.
The gates of hell cannot prevail against it. Nigeria will never become an Islamic state. Never, never, never. The battle is raging.
Exactly.
Islamic jihadists are running. Amekoka prodianota. But we belong to a higher realm of authority. Zebukitenao. Eplakoradita. Zazuzianoka. 5 people shot dead in church last week. 35 abductees.
Yeah.
Can't tell where they are. And they are demanding 100 million from a village setting.
Yeah.
Amoki Katoga, Paroti Keneto, every perpetrator of these killings and their sponsors come under a curse today.
Amen. Yes.
When this church prays, God hears.
Yes, sir.
Mopeketinos, Paco Catetanos, Ereplacatano, all that are baptized in the Holy Ghost, you join me in praying extensively in the Spirit. By so doing, we are sending agents on errand. There will be catastrophe.
Yes.
There will be catastrophe. There shall be catastrophe. In the camp of the wicked, there shall be catastrophe. Every one of you, anoint your houses, anoint your business places, and sprinkle the blood as a no-go area for every day. Today, human trade has become a big-time business. It's worse than the scourge of slavery. You pick someone who said you should bring 700 million. My God, who are you? Everyone behind it. In the name of the Lord Jesus, within the next 7 days, they are smelling. They are stinking. It's done. Parus kanikaton dialogues. A docile church is a cause.
Anyway, it went on and on and on about that. But however, I want to show you, I uploaded one. That one was the one that happened in Eruku, Ekiti, local government, Kwara State. Bishop Oyedepo is from Kwara State. If you don't know, he's from Omuaran in Kwara State. So that's his state. And this is another relative of a eyewitness of the one that happened in St. Mary Primary and Secondary School. This one happened on Thursday, just this past Thursday. That's why I said, like, the kidnapping and buying, it just intensified. Like, why is it now? Are they trying to show Trump, or the sponsors are trying to get Trump to come to Nigeria? I seriously, a lot of questions going on in my head. But before I go on, let me just play this. I'm going to end this video because I'm getting really angry with what is going on. Come in. Come in, come in, come in. So I'm coming, I'm trying to. Okay. I'm trying to. Let you listen to the one that happened on Thursday in Niger State. The one Bishop Oyedepo is talking about happens in Kwara State. The one about the 25 secondary school girls kidnapped on Monday, I believe Monday or Tuesday or last week. That one is in Kebbi State. So you can see they spread all around already. They are living in like the rural area of every state. And even in the East, these people has no boundary. They goes everywhere. And that's the plan. If that's why I said you need to look back in history, how they came to Nigeria. Everybody is sojourners, or what do you want to call us? Like our forefathers, grandfather, great grandfathers, they come from somewhere. But these people has always left blood wherever they go to. I mean the uh Islamic jihadist. So I'm trying to let the lady tell the story. At least her sister was, her sister was in that school, St. Mary's School in Niger State, where it happened. And her mom told her the story, and she was narrating the story of
I
what
just finished speaking with my mom, and let me tell you guys, my mom said they went to Papiri because Papiri, from Papiri to where we are staying, is not even up to 15 minutes. They went there because my sister Anuli is in that school. She's currently in secondary school in that school. They went there, and it was more than 200 students. They picked up more than 200 people in that school. Some are 4 years, 3 years, some are 4 siblings, some are 3 siblings. They picked up all these people and they tied them like sheep and goats walking inside bush. They tied them. My mom said people that were coming to that school, some parents that were coming to that school through the road, through the bike, that they saw them. They saw them they saw their kids on the road walking inside bush. They were tied like goats, like sheep. This is getting out of hand. More than 200 people were kidnapped this morning. More than 200. And Amuli, she was so lucky to escape because they in secondary school, that they didn't get to secondary school part. They got to the primary school section and they jumped fence. Amuli is currently in the house now. Just please my mom. They jumped fence. Most of their classmates jumped fence. They were able to capture the little children, 4, 3, 5 years. That was the people they kidnapped. And according to my mom, they saw plane. How did bandits get plane? How?
Sponsors now, they are sponsors.
I just finished speaking with my mom, and let me tell you guys, my mom said they went to Papiri because Papiri, from Papiri to where we are staying, is not even up to 15 minutes. They went there because my sister Anuli is in that.
So that's in short what happened with the one in Niger. Because they didn't only come with the when I heard this story and this lady was talking about, and there was plane, maybe helicopter or whatever, monitoring the activities going on in that primary school. They kidnapped over 300 actually, and these kids were really young. They were like 3, 4 years old. Do you think these people want to become a nanny for kids that can barely speak properly, talk less of doing things by themselves, and they were kidnapped? What's the purpose of doing that? Why were they kidnapped? Who is in that helicopter or plane or whatever monitoring the activity? Why is this? See, I'm left with a lot of questions. I'm going to end this video now. why is the kidnapping or whatever going on with Nigeria, why is it more intensified? Why is it put on the world stage right now? And why are the Fulani herdsmen acting crazy, more crazier than usual now? What is actually going on? Are they trying to get Tinubu to resign so that Shetima can take over? I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying, like, these are the thoughts that goes on in my head. What are they trying to do? They are not facts. Everybody have opinion. And I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying, why is it so intensified? I'm not even a fan of Tinubu. You can denote that from everything I've been saying. But are they trying? Because I've started seeing like Tinubu should resign now. Then it started coming from all these North leaders saying that Tinubu should resign if he could not solve. So if he resigned, then we should have the Fulani Islamic jihadist as our leader, which is Shetima. Should we make him the leader instead? And you think it's going to be better than Buhari or Tinubu era? It's the same policy anyway. Or who are the sponsors intensifying it? Are they trying to do that so that the US can actually come in? Like, I mean, the Western world, not because right now, Nigeria belongs to China, and China and Russia work together. And if you guys don't have a clue, if you don't know about geopolitics, now Russia, China are in war with the Western leaders, because they believe China is helping Russia with the war going on with Ukraine. So, and if you look at it, Traore in Burkina Faso fighting Macron, sending the US embassy out, the French embassy and everything. And he was able to start getting rid of all these Sahel, which are like equivalent of the Fulani Islamic jihadists. He was getting rid of them because before he said they always have better ammunitions compared to what Burkina Faso has. But now Burkina Faso is overpowering them because of the help they get. And do you want to talk about how many times they make attempts on this Traore life? That's why I said Traore is triumphing. Why Nigeria is sinking into the bottom of the ocean, just like the Titanic. Seriously, because if you look at it, Nigeria used to be the giant of Africa. Even when I was growing up, that we say Nigeria is terrible, Nigeria is bad, you will still buy bread of 5 naira. Now, 1,000. You can't even give a child 1,000 naira for a day meal. And in those days, 70s, 80s, early 80s kids can testify. If you get 1,000, it's going to take you far. Far. But now, everything is just crazy, like ridiculously crazy. A pound is like 1,900. Why is Naira devalued to that extent? $1 to like 1,006. Even during Buhari era, Naira was not devalued to that extent. Who are they devaluing the Naira for? Who is purchasing what? Who is being given purchasing power that makes the Naira so worthless so that they can give us barely nothing for our resources? Seriously, Nigeria Nigeria didn't just start bleeding. Nigeria has been bleeding for so long. It's just getting worse. And I suspect that something creepier than what it was is going on. Because why now that Trump wants to come? Why is it now that kids are being kidnapped? The primary school children, age 3, 4. I know this thing has been going on, but the problem is that during Buhari era, blogs post it. But when it comes to Tinubu era, I noticed that this thing died down. And I thought, oh, it's really going down. But later when Reverend Achomo started speaking and Governor Oti was rebuked for allowing the mass burial on camera, then I realized that, wow, we're just putting the Band-Aid on. Who allowed the Band-Aids to be ripped off? A lot of things. I have a lot of questions than answer. And that's why I invited you all to come. Like, let's have a conversation. But I know a lot of you will come, not say anything. But the thing is that Nigeria yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. Kò má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò síbi mìíràn tí a lè lọ. Àjò kò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ká jùmọ̀ gbéga. Gbé kí n gbé. We've been singing that for God knows when. But when you are carrying it, but some people are lifting it towards them, what happens? Ó máa padà já ni. I think the best thing for that country is just to go their separate ways. For real. Call me a divider. Call me on Malay Yoruba. I don't care. Whatever you want to call me. I don't care. Because the way people are acting, they are acting brand new. Maybe they don't know history. Nigeria was never Nigeria before 1914. So stop acting as if, oh, people saying that they should go their separate ways as separatists. No, they are not separatists. Nigeria was separate. They live in peace and harmony. Let's try that again and see if there will be peace. But because someone wants to do a Milokan, someone wants to rule over everyone. And yet, what is the outcome of the ruling? The forgiveness Buhari family was asking will be so trivial to what Tinubu's family will be asking for by the time he finished, because everything he's doing, I noticed this 2025 is really crazy because from last year, they started talking about, oh, 2027 he's going to, and I'm like, it's not about who won the race. It's about who is actually, whose legacy. Like, what about legacy? Does these people even think about it? That day, that last day. I understand. A lot of these people came out to vote for him then. Oh, he's done this for us. He's done that for us. He's done that for us. And the way they clamor and, go with this one person simply because of what he's done, where does the money come from? Being a governor of Lagos State for 8 years, being the godfather of Lagos, every Lagos State governors for how long? And being the godfather till now. Another thing that the people don't notice, let me just tell you, be on alert. Nigeria is turning to a one party run state, because the other party that competes against them on the level that they are, I'm not talking about all the ACC, all these other small parties. PDP is another strong party. They are destroying it from inside. They use Wike to destroy that party to the extent that Seyi Makinde and one other governor from one state, they are PDP governors. Their headquarters was closed in Abuja. They didn't even allow them to go in for the meeting. So what are we talking about? In the midst of all this, Nigeria is bleeding. US Congress is sitting down on our behalf, doing hearing. Akpabio is doing hearing on Natasha Akpoti, laughing at everything meaningful, laughing at Akpoti bringing Ochenya case, a girl that was raped to death, and the family that did that, our own family relative, are living free. And Portable is saying that I'm a babu. I live in the zoo. Yeah, he's right. Nigeria is like a zoo. It's like a zoo. How do we turn back from that? How greedy are you and me? Because a lot of these people that supported this Tinubu regime, they still don't want anything changed. It's because he hasn't touched them. Let them be touched. Because I realize it. When Aminotu Papa came out and said that, oh, I thought they will open border because in Katsina, the border was open. The Hausas are bringing in rice. My business collapsed under Buhari because the border in the west was closed. And I thought Tinubu will open it. That's why I voted for him. Personal interest. You're not voting for interest of others. It's just your interest. I get it. It's true. You have to look at your interest, but at the same time, you have to look at what benefits others. What's the benefit of that to others? But when everybody is so selfish, so self-centered, greedy, this is what happened. And when you cannot put yourself in other people's shoes, this is what happened. We lost our humanity. The moment you cannot put yourself in other people's shoe, that's when you lose your humanity. Like, what if? Everybody will always say, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mi, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́. But what if it's you? What if it's your family? What would you do? You will want changes. Anyway, I know bleeding of Nigeria is not today. And there is more higher power, higher force behind everything going on. I still cannot figure it out. I have a lot of theories. And like I always tell you, call me conspiracy theorist, I don't care. But I have a lot of theories why this is happening, why it intensifies. And to everyone saying that they don't mind their resources being taken by Trump and all of them, simply because their leaders are not using it. Maybe educate yourself more. And for everyone saying that, oh, the Western world should not interfere wherever they go, they decimate it, they do this. Maybe familiarize yourself more with the Chinese culture, their politics, is a one party rulers as well in China. It's a communist country ruled by the Communist Party of China for years, and Xi Jinping has been there. And if you can't even see anything, the way I'm sitting here talking about Tinubu, you talk about British government, and we're still going there, to be honest. But in the meantime that we are not there yet, maybe we can still talk. But anyway, I pray that God in himself will intervene. But the problem of Nigeria started the moment they put together that Humpty Dumpty. Anyway, you guys, I will see you next week. I think I'm running past time. Please look out for my shorts. I'm uploading a lot on my shorts these days, on my YouTube shorts. I'm uploading a lot there. I don't know. I'm trying to spread it to other platforms, but right now it's still on YouTube. So I think short is more better. And sometimes I run a voiceover commentary on top of the video in case it doesn't have a context, like the way this lady explained everything. If it's a video that doesn't have context to it, or I have something to say, I just run a voiceover commentary over that. So watch out. And please, if you come across this video, give it a thumbs up, like the video, share it with your loved ones. And if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Thumbing it up doesn't cost you anything. It just makes people to see more of it, because if a lot of people thumbs it up, YouTube believe that that person is saying something that other people need to see. They kind of push the video. But if there is not enough thumbs up, it just stays there. But please thumbs it up, and on your way out, don't forget, give the video a thumbs up, share it if you like it. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload any video, be it live, normal video, or shorts. And I will see you in my next one. Have a fantastic week, guys. Take care of yourself, and don't let the Nigeria situation affect your mental health too much. It affected mine, and that's why I stay off of it a lot. But I'm trying to put more of the information I get on my shorts. So Look out for that and have a fantastic week. Bye.